Alright, hello all. We are here for 3.6A, simplifying variable expressions. So it just means this is our first day talking about simplifying variable expressions, alright? So standard 3.6, I can simplify algebraic expressions by combining like terms. So let's define some stuff. First off, a term is a number or the product of a number and variables. An example of that could be one of these. 3 would be a number. 2x would be the product of a number of variables. Negative 4xy would also be the product of a number of variables. Remember, we're talking when we say product, we mean times, right? And so we have 2 times x and 2 times x times y, right? So terms are important to know. Also important to know is the term constant. A constant is a term that has no variable. That would be just our straight numbers. 3, 44, negative 1. Positive or negative, any number in one of these expressions is a constant if there's no letter. Like terms are terms that have identical variables, meaning 3x and negative 2x, or 4ab squared plus, and 6ab squared, right? The terms have to match, right? The variables have to match for them to be like terms, right? Those match x and x, right? And then lastly, we have coefficient, the number in front of the variable. That would be 6 and 6y, or negative 9 and negative 9ab, right? So coefficient's the number. Constant means it's just the number, no letter. Like terms mean the letters match, and a term is either a number or the product of a number and a variable, right? So in these examples, we want to name the coefficients, then the like terms, and then the constants. So we want to go in that order. So coefficients would be first, constants would be third, all right? So the coefficients, we want the number in front of the letter. We're going to have 8. We're going to have 1 because of the invisible 1 right here, all right? Like terms, we have 8y and y. Letters match. Constants, any number without a letter, so it would be 2. In this one, coefficients, numbers in front of letters, we have 7. We have negative 3. We have 1. Right, because of the 1 right here. Like terms, we have negative 3n and n. It is not 7m because the m and the n do not match. And then negative 4 is our constant. We might have situations where we have more than one constant, right? We don't need either of these, but we may have some of those. All right? You can simplify an expression by combining our like terms. Simplify by combining like terms. So, like term, we have y, and we have y. Remember, this means 1y. So if we do 10 plus 1 is 11, bring down the thing they share, y. Here we have 6b and negative 1b. Do 6 minus 1 to get 5. Bring down the b. Alright, switch colors up here. Here, 5h. Not a like term. 3h. So we're going to add those. 5 plus 3 makes 8. Bring down the h. So that one's done. This one's done. We have 9 left plus 9. Done. Do not put 8h and 9 together because there's no h on the 9, so they're not like terms. The terms have to be identical for you to be able to put them together. All right, let's try this one. We have, let's start with m's. We have negative 7m, and we have plus 2m. So I'm going to start with those. Negative 7m plus 2m be negative 5m. I'm going to cross them off when I'm done. My next term is negative 9n. It's the only one, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Negative 9n. I'm going to cross it off. And then I'm going to do the last one. Negative 3. It's a constant. I don't have any other constants because I've used everything. I'm just going to write negative 3. That's my answer. Negative 5m minus 9n minus 3. right? When it starts getting bigger here, it gets a little more difficult. So here, my best recommendation for this is making shapes, all right? So maybe the first one we're going to underline like we did before, so I'm going to use blue. Colored pencils are also super handy with this. So if you print this sheet out and you're using colored pencils, try that. All right, so let's try it. Negative 15C. Here's a C. Plus 7C. There's an A. We don't want it. Plus 3C. We want that. Here's an A. We don't want it. Here's a constant. We don't want it. All right? So we're going to put these numbers together. Negative 15 plus 7 makes negative 8. Plus 3 makes negative 5. I'm going to bring down the C. And I'm going to cross these out. Next number. Next variable. This one, let's circle instead of underline. Let's do negative 2a minus 18a. Negative 2, take away 18 more, would be negative 20. Bring down the a. Cross it out, cross it out. Lastly, I have a constant. So you could just write it, but I'm going to put a triangle around it to show you another option for marking. You can also do squares. You can do lines on top, right? Wavy lines underneath. Anything that helps make it stand out. Minus 12. There is our very, very, very best answer. All right. Here's our last one. We have negative 5ck plus 5ck. Well, negative 5 plus 5, those are opposites. That makes 0. So I'm going to write 0. That's dotted line, sorry. 0ck. And I'm going to bring down my other one. Plus 4. Alright, and then 0ck, 0 times c times k would make 0. So I want to just, I'm going to basically say 0 plus 4 makes 4. So this simplified would be just 4. Alright? Simeon bought supplies for his new puppy. He bought 4 bones for $B each. 4 bones for $B each. He also bought a kennel for $25 and a food and water dish for $7. Write an expression Simeon could use for the total cost of the supplies. 4 bones for $B each. All right. He also bought a kennel for $25 and a water dish for $7. All right. So our like terms are going to be 25 and 7. So I'm going to bring down my 4b. I'm going to do 25 plus 7 to get 32. And that's going to be a variable depending on how much each bone is. You could solve this then, but we don't have that information. So there is my total, 4b plus 32. All right. Let's see. All right, pardon for that interruption. Here is your homework, all right? So S3.6A, we want to do like we did for the first 2 questions here, right? Remember coefficients, constants, or sorry, like terms is 2, constants is 3. You want to write them out here. Make sure you get your positive negatives. Make sure you include any numbers that you don't see in front of a letter, because remember, in front of a letter is always, if there's no number, there's always the number 1, all right? For 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you're going to simplify. Please feel free to mark the page as much as you need. You can use a calculator if you need to use that to keep track of your numbers, but do something. Show me your work, right? So show me, well, I guess show me your work is show me your answer here. So mark up the page, I guess would be the best way to say showing you my work. I don't know. And then here's the back, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. This one's a longer homework because they're fast. 2 more of combined like terms, and then these word problems. 19 is going to be really similar to the word problem that's on there. And then here's a 20 is not a word problem, excuse me, but error identification problem, all right? Good luck.